In this lesson, we'll continue customizing our title block, and we'll also learn how to add a page. All right, so what I'd like to do now is really continue to kind of customizing this. Looking at this from this distance, things are a little bit bland here. So I want to play around with some texts, maybe some styles, maybe even the type of text, bold, italic, things like that, and even the font size, obviously. So let's start down here on the bottom corner. So if I wanted to go ahead and mess around with some of this, I'm going to come down here to any one of these guys here. In my case, I'm going to select both, and you can actually do that. In my case, I'm holding Shift and doing a selection. You can see both are highlighted. And I'm going to come here to the right of my screen here where we have all these tools to actually work with. So we want to work with text. So we're going to look for text style. So go ahead and click on that to expand it, and you'll take a look at all the options. So I'm going to keep everything black, but if we did want to adjust the color, we can just do so simply by clicking on that and then working with a number of options. The wheel, grays, images, things like that. But I'm going to keep things how they are. We can mess with our typeface here, bold, italic, regular, and also our size. So I'm going to mess with the size here. So I'm going to go ahead and test out a few sizes that I think would work a lot better. I want to make this really easy to read. So we're going to go with 48. I'm going to go ahead and keep those bold. I could see that this one here itself is bold. And when I click on this one, it's not bold. I want to go ahead and make this one bold. So I'm going to say bold. And I'm going to keep the type the same pretty much. But if you wanted to change it, you have a lot of options in here to work with. But I'm going to keep things kind of how they are. So I want to make this look a little bit more interesting here. So I can go ahead and double click on it. And when I do so, I can actually do several things to this. I can have a couple different typefaces, or I can have a couple different sizes. So what I can do here is I can highlight my mixed use, and let's say I wanted to add bold, and I also wanted to increase its size. So it's the main thing you see here, and I can do just that. And that might be a little bit too big, so we'll go to 24. And again, I'm gonna hit escape, and it'll automatically go back, and that just reads a lot better in my opinion. So also we can come back into this one, and I'm gonna pretty much do the same thing here. I definitely want to be able to I want people to be able to see what the title of this is. So we'll double click it. I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to say bold. And we'll give this one a pretty large one. We'll go with 28. I'll hit escape to see how that looks, so it fits in there nicely. So you can already see this reads a lot better. But let's say we wanted to add just some simple text in a field, not in an area that's already, a field already exists. Well, you come up here to the top, and you'll see this little A icon with a line going through it. And when you hover over it, it'll tell you, hey, this is text. So go ahead and click on that, and then basically just click anywhere you want to start your text. So, and we'll have to do a quick rotate after that. So I'm going to go ahead and click for the placement of my text. I'm going to go ahead and choose a size. We'll say 18, and I'm going to type a letter to kind of see if that works for me. Maybe we could go a little bit larger. We'll say 24. I like that size better. So now I'm going to type in maybe the name of my company. So we'll say DT Design Group. And if I wanted to add my address, I'll hit enter for another line. And maybe I want the address to be just a little bit smaller. I can even do, different font sizes. So now I can type in my address, 1234 Sunny Lane Place, downtown USA. So I'm going to hit escape, and now I just need to rotate this. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. And just like we did with the images or the logo I showed you, look for that little area where you can rotate it. Do a quick rotate. And we'll do a quick 90-degree. And we'll do a move real quick. So I'll hover over till I see move, and we'll place it exactly where I want it. So we'll move this over just a little bit more. I'll hit escape, and I like what we have here. So that's how we can further customize it, mess with font and things like that. So what I want to do now is show you how we can actually add a page. But before we go and add a page, I want to discuss how this works as far as unique elements and elements that are pretty much the same on every area. So what you could do is you can go to layers here, and this is how it all breaks down for you. So we'll start down here on the bottom. So if I were to click on this letter right now, you'll notice when I click it, this little blue square appears here, and that's because it's on the layer where it's going to be on every page. So if I add a new page, this A is going to be there, this 1 will be there, but This will actually be unique because it's a different set of drawings and maybe it has a different description. So this will be unique. So this won't appear if I bring it in, and I'll show you that momentarily when we add a page. But same thing with all these. So this will probably end up being the same on every page, like so, because you want that title to appear. And the same for this. We'll maybe want to change this as well, and I'll show you how we can change it. We'll do the same with our logo. So let's go ahead and start with the logo. So first thing I like to do is I'll kind of click right in a blank space here, and I'm going to select the layer that I want to be on. So if we'll start off, we'll have certain elements that we want to be on every single page. So I'm going to click on my on every page layer. So now I can go to any one of my images or items here, and I'm going to select it. And you see this is a default item that lets me know I need to change it. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say move to current layer. And when I did that, you'll notice that little square here, that lets me know this is going to be on every page. So let's do the same for this one. Right click, move to current layer. This one should be good to go. We'll definitely want this to be on every page because after all, we're going to keep a running log of any kind of revisions. So that's perfect. It should be on every page. And the same for these guys. Now, since this is going to be a little bit different every page, let's see what happens if we leave this as a unique element. And we're also going to leave this on our default layer. So now, if I close this and I open my pages, I can simply add a new page by clicking the plus sign, or I can get rid of a page by minus. So let's add a page and let's see what happens. So I'm going to scroll out a little bit. So we'll add the page. And you see what happened? This stayed. All the elements we told to stay stayed. And this element, which was unique, and also the picture here, they disappeared because they're unique to that page. Now, what if I didn't like this. I wanted to change this. I wanted that basically this area or description to come back in so I can use it as a template and I can double click and change whatever picture. That way I'm being consistent with everything. I can get rid of a page, again, by highlighting that page, hitting the minus sign. We'll get rid of that page and we'll come back to here. So now what I can do is I can click on this, right click, make sure we're on layers really quick. I want to make this on every page. Okay, right click, move to current layer. Blue square means it's on every page. So now we could close this out, come back to pages, add a page, and now our title is back. And that's not such a bad thing now because we can have some consistency. So if we do get to the point where we know what our second page is, in our case, it will be floor plans and sections. All I need to do now is double click it, highlight the area I want to change, and I'll type in floor plans and sections. Hit escape, and we're in business. And I have the same format, same font, same sizing. I don't have to go back and think about what I did. So that's how you can actually, go about taking care of that. So we'll jump back to our other page here, page 2. I'm going to close this out. And when we come back in the next lesson, we'll start working with images. And I'll show you how we can work with images and views and how neat it is to actually link up to your 3D model to make views happen. So I'll meet you in the next lesson.